Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to kindly ask that we settle down so that we can resume our program. I'm also going to kindly ask our team to close the doors so that we limit as much distraction as possible. Thank you so much. Government representatives, ANCA members, nature champions, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and a very warm welcome to the African Natural Capital Alliance Summit in conjunction with the World Economic Forum, proudly returning for its second year, and this time hosted in Cape Town, South Africa. I am Vuyolwethu Dubese, and an absolute pleasure it is to serve as your program director over the next 2 days, as we have been convened under this year's theme of unlocking Africa's natural capital, catalyzing investment for a resilient and equitable future. And we're going to be doing this through thought-provoking panel discussions, addresses, and keynote presentations. And we also are going to be showcasing some of the work that is currently being done across the ecosystem on the continent. And we're going to culminate it all with a collaborative effort through a hackathon over the course of the summit. Now, the next 2 days, ladies and gentlemen, are central to driving the transformation for nature-positive economies across the African continent, particularly as South Africa takes center stage with the G20 presidency. And of course, this is up to us to be able to create the conditions, the environments in order for the ANCA community to be able to take hold of the ambition and be held to task. And we're going to be doing this over the course of the next 2 days, looking at the themes. Some of them include how we can enhance cross-sector as well as public-private partnerships. We also are going to be identifying and mobilizing capital, looking at positive and nature-positive investments and how these can align with, of course, the money as well as the outcomes that we are wanting to achieve over the course of the summit. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we want to leverage the momentum around advancing finance through a thriving African bioeconomy so that we can scale the innovations and we can scale the impact. I have been informed that you are a note-taking community. So in your gift bags, there are notepads as well as pens. So feel free to use those as you download the amazing content that you will be participating in through the 2 days. And before we resume our billion people market agenda, I do have 3 requests from you. The very first is to kindly switch your phones onto silent. If you haven't yet had the opportunity to do so, I am going to give you a moment because we do want to honor our speakers who are going to be coming onto the stage, as well as limiting as much noise as possible. The second is there is an event app that you can download, the QR code that will be appearing on your screen momentarily. And this is where you are able to then access the event program. You're also able to facilitate and book meetings with your fellow delegates. And of course, through the Q&A that will be happening through some of the panel discussions that will be taking place throughout the course of the 2 days. This is where you can submit your questions to the panelists. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to claim your share of voice and contribute to the conversations that will be taking place throughout the course of the days. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, to officially ignite our biofueled engines for the opening address as well as the introduction for the ANCA Council speech. Please welcome Ms. Dorothy Maseke, who is the Nature Finance Lead for FSD Africa and the head of the ANCA Secretariat. Let's welcome her with a round of applause.
So thank you very much, Vuyo. It's a lot of pressure.